Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hate being late, y'all, but so forgive me. So, welcome to another edition of the Troy Graham Experience, the drive-by episode number cinco, number 5. I am the aforementioned Troy Graham early in the morning, about 7 a.m. over here in the States. So, I had a lot on my mind. I was well. Let me start by saying just good morning to any one and all, and anyone who's up and listening to the sound of my early morning voice. Right. I got up, washed my face, brushed my teeth, and got my juice here that I made: carrots, apple, and celery. That's my breakfast. That's my breakfast juice. I don't really eat a big breakfast. So yeah, I'm just blessed to be here, man. But I saw this interview. I was watching the interview, I should say, with Busta Rhymes, with some brother from England whose name escapes me right now. And he was just talking about his upbringing and so forth and how he survived in the game from the age of 17 to 52. You know, it's amazing how when we say, uh, people ask about great rappers, you don't really hear his name come up that much. But people like him, LL, and the Big Daddy Kane's, the KRS Ones, the Rakims that are still doing it almost after 30 plus years in the game, that should be respected because Buster will get on a record with Chris Brown and you'll forget it's a Chris Brown record. Buster did a record with Eminem and Eminem ain't blow him away. He damn near blew him away on his own record. Buster got on a record with Biggie, Craig Mack, LL, back in the day, and all you really remember about that song is Busta's verse. You know, you remember that. So that tells you that he's damn sure a legend in his own right. But that's Busta's not the topic of discussion today. The topic of discussion was what led me to do this early morning podcast was his words. He was asked about his upbringing. He was saying when he was coming up in his community, if he got out of pocket while he was in his neighborhood, of course, an elder or someone older who knew his parents could drape him up or grab him up and discipline him. And then they would take him home to his parents. And then he would, he would get handled again by his parents because he disrespected the family and himself by having someone other than them discipline him and then have to bring it to their attention. And so that's why I did the whole podcast. Like, how do we rebuild our communities? When I say we, I'm speaking from the sense of Africans. I don't call myself African American because I see that as redundant. I'm African and I'm an American. So why am I going to say African American? You don't hear Italian American, Polish American, Jewish American, do you? So why do I need to say African American? Just African. So Africans, Latinos, basically all people of color. How do we rebuild our communities if we don't have self-respect for ourselves first, and then the compassion to want to help someone else? Because I go out here in my community where I live now and I sweep up sometimes because a lot of time, not a lot of times, a few times, People will get to the damn dumpster and just drop trash in front of the dumpster right there. So I'll go out and I'll sweep up, you know, because what happens is this: you don't take care of those little things, you'll get rats in the neighborhood, and then they'll bring down the property value. Then you'll complain because you're paying the same amount of money, and for the property value goes down at that point, you know, and just things like that. I remember having my me and my boys went down and did a trash pickup with the church. I had my boys with me, my sons with me at the church soup kitchen on Fridays serving food, and then we would volunteer at the food bank. We'll go out and do the homeless ministry because at the end of the day, in order to actually be served, you have to serve others. So how do you learn that wisdom? How do you learn how to be that humble unless you're taught it? Because I take nothing for granted at this stage of my life. Like think of the words we use when you say let's say a lot of people now say, well, I came up in the hood, in the hood, in the hood, in the hood. The hood is used to cover things. It's not a term that you would see to uplift or not a term of endearment. It's something to cover your head, might protect you from rain, it might even hide you from someone. But I grew up in a community. Mind you, I'm 52 years of age, soon to be 53. Well, not too soon, but I grew up in a community, and yes, I grew up during the crack era, son, and yes, I grew up in the city. I did not grow up in the suburbs, but I had a community. You know, there was always that old lady in the window, Miss Evelyn. I remember her. You know, and she always had them day old damn cookies, right? If you got locked out, if you lost your key, because a lot of us were latchkey children. So if you got locked out of your apartment because you lost your key and your parents weren't home or your auntie, whoever was red, grandma wasn't there to let you in, you could go. As long as you were behaved, you could stay with Miss Evelyn and watch out for you until someone arrives. Because there really wasn't any cell phones or anything back then, no pages, no cell phones, or any way to get the word out besides word of mouth. So I stayed at her house quite a few times. I had to sweep up a bit, uh, you know, eat them day old cookies and listen to her stories of yesterday. But at the end of the day, I had shelter. I had safe shelter with someone that was trusted, and that's because we lived in a community. Yes, there was murders and crime, and I've seen things that I really not don't want to get into, but it's those things are supposed to be there, and along with the joyful stuff that was there to shape you and make you into the individual you are. But nowadays, it seems like we just want to focus on the harsh and not the happiness. And so that's why I'm asking, how do we rebuild our communities without any self respect or compassion for the next man? Because you can have all the self respect and love for yourself you want, right? But how do you go about rebuilding unless you say, I have some compassion for the next man over here? How do you do that? Because sometimes, in order to save self or to uplift self, you have to sacrifice. Sure, you sacrifice for yourself, but you might have to sacrifice for others. I give another example. I remember I don't really give money to homeless people. I take them and give them something to eat. I really don't. But this time, I was in this Mexican restaurant. I was coming from work, and brother was in there. I think he was just asking for maybe a glass of water or whatever the case may be. And they treated that brother harshly because he was homeless. They basically told him to get out of here. Da, 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 da. So I kept my money in my pocket. I didn't spend any money there. And then I followed the brother in my car, and he was like, "Hold up, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing." I said, "Relax, brother. I didn't. I'm not here to do you any harm. I just want to give you this." I gave him my last $10. Well, I was gonna get paid the next day, but That was supposed to be my gas, right? Well, I have 15, but I gave him 10. So I gave him 10. And he was like, what do I have to do for this? I looked at him and like, I didn't say you had to do anything for him, brother. This is all my soul to do. He said, you sure? I said, yes. I was kind of exasperated at that point. I was like, yeah, brother, yeah, yeah. So I said, yeah. hmm And then I drove off. Then there's other times when I've been downtown and in whatever city I lived in, Baltimore, same Baltimore, right? And I was driving for my church's food bank, and we would go past the homeless, and I would just me and the brother I was with would just give out food, and we'd have to tell the pastor, look, we stopped and gave out food to the homeless. He's like, I know you. That's why I called in another truck. He called in. He would get other tractor trailers from different places to come in and donate food on certain days because he knew how I was. So the community that I lived in wouldn't be short because I decided to help another community. He said, I know how you are. That's just you. I don't mind you doing that. We go out and I went out to the street corners and talked to a lot of these hard heads on the street corner. And the one thing I would say to them, I would say, brother, I said, come here, y'all. Let me talk to y'all real quick. Be like, yo, what you want to buy something? Buy something, pops. And because if they don't know me, I'm pops. Or if they do know me, hey, man, that's actually Mr. G with the three boys, right? So, so I'm like, nah, I don't want to buy nothing. You ever see me before around here before? He's like, oh yeah, 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 you G with the three boys. Yeah, that's me. So I would ask them, I see you out here doing your thing. I ain't really here to knock you, but what's your end game? Most of them will look at me like they don't know what I'm talking about. You know, why you leave the boxing community? I didn't leave it. I'm just not interested in talking about boxing right now, Dr. Wang. It was good to see you though. Boxing Lounge. I'm sorry. Did I acknowledge you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Boxing Lounge. I probably just jumped right into it. My apologies, brother. But I didn't leave the boxing community. If you look at some of my other earlier posts, I did some drive-by episodes on boxing, but that's not where my interest lies. I mean, I'm a well-rounded, multifaceted human being, brother. So there's other things to discuss. It's so many people out here discussing boxing. I mean, I don't really want to do boxing right now. It's not that I stopped, it's just that my soul is guiding me other places. But back to what I was saying. So I pulled up on these youngsters, they were doing their thing on the corner. And so I said to them, what is your end game, right? What's your end game? And a lot of them looked at me with a blank stare, like, and one of them was like, well, my end game is just to make X amount of money and to go do this and go do that. And I said, you know what? That's a good answer, brother. But how are you going to do that with if all of this comes with all the other nonsense that it comes with? He's like, well, what you mean? What you mean, Mr. G? I said, okay, do you see that police over there? He said, yeah, been there all day. I said, okay, the other ones that circle around here, do you know why they're here? He's like, yeah, because they're trying to stop us from making money. I'm like, nah, youngster, they're not trying to stop you from making money. They're here because of the blood in the bodies. A body drops here almost every other day. And when you make things bloody, then you bring them around. If you would just handle this more, I'm going to explain what I'm about to say. If you would just handle this situation more like a business instead of a hustle, they really wouldn't be on your ass like this because all you're doing is putting people to sleep. When you put people to sleep, what are they? Calm, right? He's like, I never thought about it like that. How do we go about doing that? I said, it ain't my place to make you a better drug dealer, brother. It's not what I came here to talk to you about, right? It's not what I'm here for. So I said, I tell you what I'm gonna do. If you if your spirit is open to it. I'm gonna get you a book by a Dr. Dennis Kimbrough called Think and Grow Rich for for the African American, right? So there a few of them were like, okay, well I'll read that, I'll read that. Now, if you know the actual book Think and Grow Rich, the actual author of the original Think and Grow Rich, he gave Dr. Kimbrough the right to rewrite that book to reach a different community, which was the African American, right? So the African American, yeah. So, but anyhow, I did that. I went on Amazon, got a few of them books, and handed them out. I really don't know the outcome of that, but I'm saying like this: if you could reach 1 to 10 people, then you've saved a couple of thousand lives. Because when you have a purpose, and you could probably give that purpose, you could show someone else their purpose, then guess what? They become purposeful, and they start to self-love themselves, right? And once that happens, they have love for themselves, they'll have respect for you and love for you. And it keeps growing like that. But if you don't have any purpose, you don't have any self-love, you don't care about your life, and why should I care about someone else's life then? There's no rebuilding there, none whatsoever. See, because I'm not afraid to go talk to these cats on the corner, whether they know me or don't know me. I mean, I'm not Superman. I'm not Malcolm. I'm not Marcus. I'm not Martin. I'm not anybody. I'm Troy Graham, right? But when the spirit moves you to do something, don't question it, because God gave us free will, or whoever you believe in gave you free will. Listen to that thing in your heart and that voice in your head. That's him saying, I'm speaking to you. Make that move. It could be as simple as you saying, you know what? Maybe when I go in here, I'm gonna help out going to the supermarket or corner store. I know I see the single mother. She might be short on stuff. Hey, I'll pay the difference. You know, that act of kindness could lead to her just planting a seed in her mind and saying, okay, let me help out the next person. You know, it's just pass. It'll spiritually pass it on. I'm gonna give you another example. I used to see a psychiatrist. Yeah, I used to sit on someone's couch. You know, I bet you want to know why. You'll never. Yeah, that's a story for another day. But anyway, so every time I went in, I had to pay a $50 copay because my insurance really didn't cover the whole thing. So I said, cool. I went in. I gave the lady my card. She's like, no, we only take cash. I said, cool. I'll run downstairs to the drugstore and use the ATM and get the cash. She's like, well, if you do that, you're going to miss your appointment. I said, well, you leaving me no options here because you don't want you're not equipped to take my card, and you're not giving me a chance to go down. What am I supposed to do? I have the money. So she's like, sir, I don't know what you're going to do. You want to reschedule your appointment for next week? I'd already taken a bus over there, you know? I'd already taken a bus over there. So no, I didn't want to reschedule. I'm here. So this lady was behind me, tapped me on the shoulder and says, baby, that's all right. Oh, she said, baby, that's all right. She's a little older than me. She said, baby, that's all right. I'm gonna pay you $50. I said, miss, you sure? She said, now I'm sounding like the homeless man that I was helping, right? Not thank you, but are you sure? So I said, are you sure? But she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Come. So I said, thank you. I said, let me get your phone number and all of that, and then I will cash app you the money back or whatever the case may be. So she gave me this look like, sir, I didn't ask you for the money back, but I will ask you to pass this on to the next person who's in need of help. And I said, oh, okay, okay, I could do that. That's no problem. But what is your name? So she told me her name and all that. And we exchanged numbers and all that. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna call you when I do. She said, good, you can talk to my husband. I said, that's cool, no matter who I talk to. I just want to let you know this is what I did. So she was like, cool. And that was That to me starts the rebuilding process because I don't really watch the news that much. I have a brother that's a police officer, so when I hear about police getting shot in Baltimore, I'll check the news, make sure it's not him, and then I'll turn the thing off. Because to me, nothing in life is one-sided. Nothing. So if you give bad news, excuse me, about crimes and so forth on the news, why don't you equal that out with some good stories about people doing for others, the successes and all that? Why don't you don't ever see that on the news, do you? No. So I used to work for a rental car company. I asked a reporter about that, one of the big reporters in Baltimore. That dude basically snapped at me. He was like, "Well, that's not true." And he basically started barking like a little damn black chihuahua. Like, "Ah, that's not true. I don't know what you're watching, but that is not true. You must not be watching me." The back of my mind, I slapped him. I didn't really slap him, but in the back of my mind, I was just slapped. Hey, who are you talking to? I'm a grown man. Don't bark at me, bro. I just looked at him. Well, through the rearview mirror, I was driving, and I was like, "Do you believe that nonsense you shoveling? Because it's not true. The news is always negative, and negativity filters into people's souls. So how do you can't grow if you're negative? I tell I tell my children this because I'm older now and they're older. Focus on what you can control. Don't be quick to anger because you know how you are already and where that will lead you. So focus on the things you can control. And when you are given an avenue to walk away. Walk away. And then I always tell them this because my sons, two of them are rappers. So I asked them who's their favorite rapper and all of that. And of course, the other one, he listens to rap. He likes rap. So I say to him, uh, "Tell me one of your favorite rappers," and he'll tell me who one of his favorite rappers is. Next thing you know, I said, "Okay, do you know the words to the song?" Huh? I said, "Well, give me a song. Do you know the words to it?" And so he'll tell me the name of the song. I said, then I'll Google the lyrics. And I said, "Okay, play the song." He said, "Well, Daddy, some cussing in here." I'm like, "I don't play the song." And then I'll show him the lyrics as the song is playing. And I'm like, "This is what you're listening to." So always be mindful of what you're putting in your head. Because I print the lyrics of most songs I listen to because I just want to see what the artist is really talking about. I mean, and we should really stop with words like hood because it's no good gonna come out that word. What happened? Because if you live in a hood, then there's no need to be a community. The hood only covers a single person. It doesn't cover everybody. But communities cover themselves. You see the difference? The root word of there is com. Come. You could start. Yeah. Okay. Pause. You could do a lot of words with that. You could communicate and unity. There's another word to it. So it's when you take the word unity, it means to unify. So how do you can't unify a hood? It only covers you. The community, what is unified, covers everyone, good, bad, and the other. You know, it's just after that interview. Well, actually, it probably wasn't the interview. It probably just sparked what I was thinking for a while now. 'Cause I'm sick of hearing. I'm sick of. I don't even listen to the radio that much, man. I'm sick of hearing lyrics that say the same thing. I'm this. I'm that. I'm so and so. Hmm. And 'cause at the end of the day, those are not. That's crack. It gets you high for that time, but it leaves you empty once the thing is going off. It leaves you empty. I'll give you for instance. Excuse me. The yawning is just me. I uh I was on some radio show up here in Baltimore, 88.9. It's deals with Morgan State radio station. It was late night, and I think that The hosts were probably in their 20s and 30s, and they were discussing music and so on for so forth. I think they were talking about a comparison between Stevie Wonder and Lil Wayne. There is no comparison between Stevie and Lil Wayne because Stevie don't have to make another blessed album, song, write another lyric, and he'll sell out if he says I'm going on concert, going on tour, right? Wayne has to write music. You don't have to stay in the public eye to be relevant. So I called in. I was trying to explain that to the brother, and he's like, "Well, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. You know, Lil Wayne is getting the bag right now." I said, "Okay, but you do realize that Stevie's been around for over 40 years, and he don't really need to write or do anything. He just come out and do what he do. But he ain't gonna make it like Wayne." I'm like, brother, did you not hear what I just said? Stevie has lifelong fans from every age group. 5, 10 years, 15 years from now, that ain't gonna be Lil Wayne. I mean, I like Duffel Bag Boys and some of the other songs he's written, but they gonna stand the test of time like Stevie Wonder songs. I mean, you're gonna be 50 or 60 talking about little Duffel Bag Boy. Seriously? Are you gonna be doing that at 60 or 50? No. Go and get your money, little Duffel Bag Boy. You gonna be doing that at 60? Or bling bling. Every time I turn around the corner, bling bling. You gonna be doing that at 60? 50? Hmm? I'm sorry. What's your fan base gonna be like when you're 60, 50 plus years old like Busta Rhymes? What's your fan base gonna be like? Hmm? What? With your Geritol gangsters, you know, with false teeth and not talking about, yeah, I still get down. False gold platinum teeth falling out their mouth and shit. I mean, what's going on? All due respect to that brother, I actually like his worth ethic, and he's a very talented individual. I'm just joking, but seriously, you can't compare Lil Wayne to Stevie. My point is this: you can build with a Stevie Wonder. You could build a whole musical nation with a Stevie Wonder because he'll teach you how to play, what a note is. Like he's a falsetto. That's his type of singing. But he'll teach you about the history of the music. Is Lil Wayne gonna do that? Does he play an instrument? Probably could teach you a lot about catchphrases and punchlines and things of that nature and how to make a rhythm with your words because I know how to do that. I'm a writer. But you have to be an artist to accept a lot of those things. A lot of these youngsters and these cats nowadays are not artists. They're just performers. You know, they're not artists. Right. So back to what I was saying, I'm gonna have to pause this for a second because brother definitely has to go to the bathroom. So give me a second and I shall return. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go, but I'm not gonna leave you here without something. You know, when nature calls, nature calls. You ain't got nothing to do about that. Nature will call. It's calling like a mother right now, but I hate being left in silence when I go on other people's podcasts. So I'm not gonna leave you on silence because I hate it. I really hate that. You know, I'm just waiting for the tablet to do its thing, and I'll leave y'all with something. Right? So I'll be right back. This is what happens when you're a one man show over here, you know? You're a one man show, this is what happens. But trust me. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. Nature call.
So
Be right
around,
back.
look around you, man. You find inspiration. You'll find discouragement. It all depends on you. Perception is everything. Some people just hit another song. Some people hit breaks. A nigga used to have no chill. Nowadays he bump side A. Traffic on bumper to bumper, stuck on the highway. Takes so long to get from Monday to Friday. Then you wake up on Sunday like it was just Friday. Crime pays an iron cage, had to find ways. I wasn't trying to slave a 9 to 5 till my dying days. Frank Sinatra, I gotta do it my way. Chasing a dream, some people look at you sideways. Like you walked in Adidas and asked for Kanye's. Plug Peters a few times, he gave us Kanye. You wanna walk like the greats, that's why we buy J's. I gambled on myself, look at me now, I'm paid. I could buy what I want in this bitch. These niggas trying to get the fame, I just wanna get rich. You ain't believing me before, you blind son of a bitch. I'ma see your ass, I'ma stun on your shit. Like, what's up with me in town, baby, come to the rich. It's a different kind of trip, don't come with your chick. Now these lames say my name when they wanna get lit. For every up, there's a downside that come with the shit. But fuck it, I'm up like I'm dunking on shit. Like Wade when he dunked on Tim Duncan and shit. I remember close calls where I wanted to quit. Thank God I'm hard-headed, nigga dumb as a dick. Had to go for mine, now I'm up in the mix. If you broke, then your confidence.
Bless up and big up yourself. I have returned. Okay, sorry about that. You know, when nature calls, nature call. What you gonna do? Either if you don't answer, it's still gonna come. It didn't even come out exactly how I wanted it to come out, but it came out. All right. But let's get back to the topic at hand about how do we rebuild our communities without self-respect and compassion for the next man? Because I don't have answers, or I have my own thoughts and opinions, right? As far as having definite answers and how to change, it all changes with you. And it doesn't have to be something major. Like you don't have to stand up on a podium and announce what you're doing. Each of us has something in us. Like me, I go out and sweep the community, right? Go out sweep the community from time to time, and the spirit moves me. I go talk to those knuckleheads on the corner, man. Those hard heads on the corner, and just offer them some insight. I don't have nothing else to offer them. I mean, what else am I going to offer them? But my insight from being in this world 50 plus years, right? Offer them that insight. And then you see where that goes. Because I remember two things, right? I was taking my kids to the circus. We're waiting on the bus. And then the brother walked up to me and he said, "You know what? I've seen you around here with your kids, with your sons, man. I have to be honest with you. If I had a father like you, I wouldn't be out here right now. Didn't know me. I don't know him. He just been watching me with my kids in the community, neighborhood, however you want to put it, go back and forth, struggling and just enjoying how I do with my children." And he was like, "Yeah, if I had a father like you, brother, I wouldn't even be out here. I know that for a fact." And there was another brother who was like, I was at the soup kitchen for the church, so we were about to close up. So he comes in there, and I'm like, "How you doing, brother? We're about to close up, but if you need anything, I can see if I can get you something and all that." He's like, "Yeah, I would appreciate that, but I really just came to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay," because I didn't know what was up. Right? I could feel his brother's energy. He wasn't going to do me any harm. So, I was like, "Okay, brother, what's going on? How can I help you?" He's like, "You don't remember me, probably." I said, "Well, I have a photographic memory. I remember faces. I don't remember your name." So he was like, "Okay. Well, I used to come in here during, breakfast when y'all serve breakfast and stuff, and you were at the door. You were the greeter, signing people in, and you were always smiling and pleasant. And I came in here one day, and I was looking for a fight or problem, man. I was having a bad day with my woman. I violated my probation, and I was gonna have to go back to jail. And he just got out of jail. Matter of fact, it's a part of the story I left out. He just got out of jail, meaning he got out of jail 24 hours ago. right? So he said, "Yeah, man, I spent 3 years in jail because I violated my probation because my woman, we were arguing." The story for another day. So, but I want to come back in here and tell you thank you, man, because a lot of times I came in here wanting something to pop off because I was just angry. So I want to hurt somebody, and the happiness and energy that you gave off helped push down my anger. So see, there's another way that we could rebuild the community by how you carry yourself. Not to say that a lot of times your positivity will protect you or anything like that. Sometimes it doesn't matter. If someone wants to do harm to you, they're gonna do harm to you. But in most cases, you 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 get what you give out. The energy you give out is the energy you get. And that's what changes a lot of situations because I've been in situations where a dude came out of the car with a gun. I'm like, "You want to shoot me?" And I'm like, "Brother, you all right?" The same way I'm talking to you now. I was like, "Brother, you all right?" And he was like, "Am I all right? What you talking about, nigga? Nigga." And I was like, "Yeah, brother, you all right? I mean, you want to talk? What's up?" Someone coming out the car with a gun, and another dude is asking him if he want to talk. You gonna look at him like, does he not see the gun in my hand and the purpose in my eyes? I see it, but I can't do anything to stop you. So the only thing I could offer you is a few moments of my time, and if you shoot me and kill me, then it was meant to be. You know. But it all boils down to the energy you give off. That's one way to start rebuilding. You can't allow all your problems to bury you so much that they damn near break your spirit. Pain only lasts but a day, but joy gonna come in the morning. And then, what the word says. What little bit of it I do know. Meaning that you struggling today, you're going through it today, but tomorrow's a brand new day when the sun come up, baby. And we gonna shine bright like the sun. You feel me? We're gonna shine bright because see, I'm not bringing yesterday's pain or problems with me. Positive, purposeful positivity pushes past all problems. Please remember that. I'm gonna repeat that. Purposeful positivity pushes past all problems. Remember, purposeful is capital. Positivity is in all caps. All is in all caps. Problems is not in caps. It's minor. So think about that. Rebuild by rebuilding self first. And then once you learn how to love you, you could transfer some of that love onto someone else. That's the compassion I speak of. And that's another way of how to uplift. Once you could uplift others, even with something as simple as a smile, conversation, or just, hey, hello, and keep it moving. Every day you see him, how you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? Boom, you keep it moving, right? That's one other way to uplift, y'all. That's one other way. Hmm. Well, look, I'm not gonna keep beating the dead horses. I've been on for about. I'll stay on for another couple of minutes. I'll make it 40 minutes. But I had this on my soul, man, because I miss coming up, and I came up harsh. I'm not gonna say I came up in no Cosby world because I didn't. I came up in the 104.57, baby. It was rough. It was rough. And in the near future, I'm gonna have a brother on here who did over 30 years behind the wall, and he's gonna tell his story. So listen out for that. I'm gonna give him some airtime. I'm putting together a panel of my sons, nieces, and nephews, and I'm gonna turn on the lights for them, and they're gonna discuss issues within the young community. And if I chime in, I chime in. But they gonna have their own discussion. All right. So, but yeah, just listen out for those things. I am so sorry about the yawning. It's just natural with me. But I thought about that all of after I heard the interview with Buster, like, what happened to our communities, man? Because you got to pay attention to a lot of things. Instead of saying you don't like the school system, a lot of us could homeschool after school, because how did a lot of us learn how to really count and do other things? Okay, I had to go to the grocery store with my grandmother. So I learned how to budget and just grocery shop and all that from her. I learned how to cook. See, different things are taught in the house. So we don't need to build schools when we could actually homeschool together. If you know that this person is a teacher and she lives in your community, he or she lives in your community, teacher is plural, get with them and say, okay, we'll pay y'all, or we like to work with you to help our children because they're falling behind in school, right? Don't overwhelm them, say 5 or 6 to a person, kids to, or let them use every church has like a hall to it, like a church hall or building. See if you can use that building, but make sure it's more than one person doing it. I don't care if whatever, I don't care if you're teaching the kids. You help them where they need help. That's the first thing. But then if you someone there that's willing to teach them Spanish, history, science, banking, budgeting, if someone is there who wants to tell them, I spent 30 years in jail. Let me tell you my story so you don't go down my path. That's another set of teaching and how to rebuild our community. We can't let you can't say, well, I don't want to hear nothing from this individual because of his past, because his past could be the building block that saves lives. Not all of us shine up real nice. No, some of us are very harsh people, and we did some very bad things, right? So we don't all shine up all nice and pretty, and we don't look good on paper. At the same time, those are the brothers and sisters you need, because they're not gonna water down anything. They're gonna give it to you raw. It's whether you want to hear it or not. You want to hear it? Here it is. They're gonna give it to you raw and uncut. Can you take it? Can you take it? Can you take it? So sometimes when when you have a purpose and you try to be purposeful, you have to let that God in you guide you. That's the spirit of uh, good Lord knowledge, uh, guide you and guide your understanding and say, okay, you got this man over here. He's never been in any trouble, and he's teaching them how to fix cars. This man over here, he might be teaching them chess, but he's a drinker. As long as he comes in here sober with a purpose and he clean, we good to go. We got another man over here. He got a couple of bodies on his reputation, and we know about them. But that was yesterday. It ain't today. Different individual. He's the same person, but different individual. He so-called served his time. He's going to teach them about being careful and about responsibility. This lady over here got 9 kids with 4 men, right? What can she teach? She could teach a lot about life or in general and how to really value yourself more, you know? So everybody has a purpose. And then some of us, like me, when I went to culinary school, I would bring home bread and cookies so much that I would give it to the kids in the community. Well, I'll take it to the school and they would give it out to the children, right? And then who's to say you can't start your own little busing service or van service that serves your community? Because I don't know about y'all, but do you feel safe every time you get into Uber or Lyft? What if you start your own van service in your own community? Make sure you get a license. Don't do the under the table shit. Get a license, right? Get a license. Everything, all the certifications you need, whatever, which won't be too much. Get a good 15 passenger van and start serving your community. There's elders in there, older folk that really need help getting to their doctor's appointments, and sometimes they're late because their bus service is running behind. Be there for them. You know, that's another way. Another bus could do the shopping thing route. Boom. Say, hey, we closest supermarket is actually in the county, but we live in the city. And we'd have to take two buses to get to the county, even though it was only 3 miles away. We still got to take two buses because we got to catch a bus in the city, and then that'll take us to the county. Then we have to catch another bus that'll take us to the supermarket. You know, see what I'm saying? You have to catch a city bus, get to the county bus to take you to the supermarket, which is only 3 miles away. Sometimes only 1 mile away, but you don't want to take that walk because it's 15 minutes up, 15 minutes down. You understand? Okay. Different things we can do. Like a lot of these brothers are barbers or entrepreneurs. You could say, okay, well, I'll give you a couple of hours of my time or a couple of days a week, and I'll teach y'all how to be barbers, right? And then you could, if say you want to sign an agreement with some of these cats, and you say, okay, I'll teach you how to be a barber, but here's what you're gonna do. When you start making money, you come in, you once you get your license, you go get your license then and you work for me, then I'll teach you how to open your own shop. I'll help you open your own shop and we could all make money together. See, everybody's grown. If you know how to plant food, garden, whatever, that's needed in our community. That's another way we could help out build ourselves. We could start a community farm. I know a brother who used to work for the SWV. That's Public Enemies security, right? And he turned a crackhead hooker-filled alley into an urban garden. He sells veggie bags for $5. Well, now 10, inflation. But he sells them. He went in the ground and just whoosh. And he held a cooking class because he became a vegan at one point. He was doing some vegan cooking, and he did some martial arts. So everybody has something to offer. You understand? Everyone. That's to me, that's how you rebuild. Whatever your skill is, whatever you could offer, you need to come together and then there's other guys like me. I'm the idea man, as you could tell. And then there's someone that could actually put this together because I have great ideas, but I don't always put it together well. You get all those people together, put them all in the same room like gumbo, mix it on up and make it work, man. And we can start rebuilding our community and stop using words like hood and nigger and bitch when we communicate with each other, and stop saying things like, yeah, man, the nigga got shot the other day, and what's the secondary part? This other one graduated from college. You never hear that story, right? No, I want to hear those stories. I want to. I know you gotta take the good with the bad with the good. I'm fine with it. But why is it always all bad? You know? It doesn't always have to be all bad. Now look, I'm gonna jump off here. Drive-by series is not really a long thing, so 49 minutes is good. Thank you all for coming out. Blessing me with the most important thing you have. That's your time, and appreciate it. And ask yourself the question: How do we build? How do we rebuild our communities without self-respect and compassion for the next man? How do we do that? I don't know. I really and truly don't know. Uh, but check this out here. I'm gonna go off camera for a second because I gotta find a song I want to exit with. But I'm gonna keep talking to y'all, right? So, Bob Marley had a song called "Chase Them Crazy Ball Heads Out of Town." I don't know if I want to drop that one on y'all. I'm gonna go look up something right quick here. But I think it starts really with ourselves more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I think it really truly starts with us. Whatever the good Lord gave us leads us to offer is what we should offer to ourselves, our communities, and then go from there. You know, I really and truly believe that. I don't. I really truly. I just do. I just do. Hold on, y'all. These damn commercials on YouTube kill me. Why are there commercials on YouTube? This is a song called Flags by Naughty by Nature. Tells of a story. Hold on. Tells of a story of a young man who was probably, enjoying the day with his brother, his good friend. And then his friend, they got run up on and his friend got killed. And he was just like, man, I got to do something to avenge my boy. That's my brother. Right. And so he goes to, you know, local kingpin gangster Ice Ice T, and Ice T is like, yo, you don't want to be out here getting payback because you hit 1 hours, we gonna come back and take a couple of yours. And then this y'all gonna come back and take a couple of hours because the cycle continues. And he's like, but I gotta do something. He's like, what you need to do is do something positive. Go do something positive and bring that back to the community because you ain't built for this. I know brothers in jail that are 3 times my size, so they definitely will swallow you up. And he goes to the local kingpin. That's Tretch, and Tretch is like, well, this is where the song gonna start from, and the name of the song is Flags. I just think it's fitting based on what I was discussing. So check it out. So with you. Let me tell you something. Once you put this work in, your hands sustain. They stain forever. You understand that? Once you put this work in, what's up, little gangster? What's up with you? Let me tell you something. Once you put this work in, your hands sustain. They stain forever. You understand that? Hmm. Yeah. Just like I was, man. I see you, man. Sometimes I wish I could have changed the shit that I really done, man, because it was some wicked shit. But you didn't change, man. Niggas is saying the only way I could one day rank up and sit where you at is if I do this. Just what I was thinking. Ignorant. Whatever, man. Oh, you out? Mm. Wrong. Shorty rock. Tell the family I said, what's up, little relative? Mama, don't cry for me, cause I don't feel bad. Cold of the streets that I gotta keep. They burn, so we burn back. So I rep my hood, my city, my borough thoroughly. It's all I have. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All of you still listening. We hope our prayers make it up to heaven. And we fall, we not forgotten. So let our little brothers end up like we did. Let him grow up and get a job. Let him grow up behind bars. Trying to be hard. Oh, Father, can you swiffen my feet? Dressing the wrong color on the wrong street. With no heat. Rocking biggies, chuckers, bananas, my brothers, haters, lovers. Still got each other. We twist our hands up and pull our pants up. Walk this way, throw your flag in your setup. Mama, don't cry for me. No. Mama, don't feel bad. Cold on the streets that we got to. They want to hate you. Our hood, our city, our borough, so thoroughly. That's all we had. You gotta go leave or you don't leave. That's why we fly our flag. I heard you mobbing, you moody, you jacking for jewelry, you banging and beating with your tats and your toolies, banging for bounty. You too young for the '90s. Were you thumping with the G-Rap or jumping in the county?
Shooting by the roof and scrapping is what's happening. Niggas reeling about it, so boom, batting and cracking. If you going out tonight, your pistol and your rifle. Pray to the Father and say your soul to the cycle. You coming, nigga, listen. No bouncing, ain't no bitching. Cook 'em by the kitchen. Flags and finger flipping. Living without growing. Killing without glowing. This gang is a gun. It's either given or chosen. Time to get the trigger strap. Time to get these niggas back. Worst part of the deal, it won't help bring our nigga back. Tell your babies that you love her. Kiss your mama before you leave her. Tug her like you need her. Cases the last time you see her. Cold of the streets that we got. All you, all city, all world, so that's all we have. You gotta cook beef, or you don't eat. That's why we fly. The streets are so slick, they greasy as and needy, feed the needy. Easy to murder if you hungry or greedy. They feds in graffiti. We mean like Edie. I been a track or treaty. I take my warrants to Tahiti. Throw your flags like soccer, nothing but war on TV. RIP Apache up in heaven in a platinum TP. Aggressive is the message, no lessons without the F. The bang bang lit by the gun, die by the gang, it's a flag thing. All the little kids out there don't take this breath, you know, follow whatever, you know, go to school and get your education. Don't follow my footsteps. Don't make the same mistake as I made. You already know where it's headed. We don't have too fucking much, nigga. Up or down, your mom and daddy ain't lying to you, fool. It's not easy out here, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is dying, man. Mamas is crying. We need to come up with a solution to try and do something with this whole bullshit. Don't cry for me. Don't be home of the streets that we got. So all you, all city, all world, so yeah. You gotta cook beef or you don't eat. That's why we fire. Don't cry for me. Don't be we gotta do too fucking much, nigga. Up or down, your mom and daddy ain't lying to you, fool. It's not easy out here, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is dying, man. Mamas is crying. We need to come up with a solution to try and do something with this whole bullshit. Don't cry for me.
Yeah, we need to come up with a solution instead of dying for this old bullshit, like brother said. I know it was long. I just wanted to play it, you know, and if I get a strike for it, I get a strike for it. I mean, you know, but bless up and big up yourself. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your time. For those who are seeing this now and those who will see it later, bless up and big up yourself, man. This has been another edition of the Troy Graham Experience, the Drive By series, episode number 5. See you later. See you later. See you later. What's next? I don't know, but something will come.